Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Make America Led, back with another NBA 2K22 video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the optimal badge levels for all of the defensive and rebounding badges in NBA 2K22. So let's just jump right into the video. We're starting off with our first badge, which is ankle braces. The optimal level for this badge, I would say, is gold or Hall of Fame if you can get it Hall of Fame, but gold works pretty well in most cases, only because you're not going to really run into a lot of people running Hall of Fame ankle breaker, Hall of Fame space creator. You know, you might run into somebody running like Hall of Fame tight handles, but that's about it. You're not going to really see a bunch of dudes running these other dribbling badges and stuff like that. So I don't think you really want or need, I should say, Hall of Fame ankle braces. But if you can get it, I personally would rock Hall of Fame. But I would say the optimal level would be gold for this badge. The optimal level for ball stripper would be bronze. As we all know, like bronze gets like a 17%. Bronze and silver gets like a 17% chance of stripping the ball, and then I think gold in Hall of Fame is like 18%. So bronze is pretty much damn near Hall of Fame. So you want to just keep that on bronze. Box, I would say the optimal levels are either silver or Hall of Fame. You can get away with silver in most cases. Silver is pretty well, but if I could get Hall of Fame, I probably would definitely rock Hall of Fame, just because boxing out is very important, and you don't want to give the other team multiple chances at scoring. You want to be able to box out and get that rebound, or have your teammate get that rebound. So that's just me. So I would say if you are budgeting, you know, your badges and stuff like that, go with silver. But if you can max it out at Hall of Fame, I would max it out at Hall of Fame. Brick wall, similar situation. You know, if you're budgeting, silver brick wall works pretty well for setting screens and stuff like that. However, I would max out at gold or Hall of Fame if you also have strength in your build. You know, because, you know, if you read the description, the second part of the description says it's harder for offensive players to back you down. So this is going to help you combat people who have Hall of Fame back down punisher. So if you got Hall of Fame brick wall, Hall of Fame brick wall is going to help you with people who have Hall of Fame back down punisher. They're not going to just be able to back you down in the post and stuff like that as well. So, you know, just also, you know, keep in mind to read the description of these badges, because a lot of the description of the badges will show you that the badge has other functions, you know, secondary functions, and sometimes even third functions, you know, for the badges and stuff like that. It's not just, oh, for screens and stuff like that, you know. If you read brick wall, it actually has 3 different functions. It functions as brick wall, it functions as moving truck, the old badge in 2K21 and 2K20, and it also functions as another older badge called bruiser. You know, because it also drains the energy from opponents on physical contact, because you read at the bottom of the screen or whatever. So, you know, make sure you read those descriptions of those badges, because sometimes people do miss out on a lot of things that the badge does, or secondary or third traits that the badge may have that will be helping you and stuff like that. Chase down artists, the optimal level would be bronze. I don't think you really need to raise chase down artists any higher. I've left it at bronze, and just having it on bronze on my play shot with a 35 block, I've gotten chase down blocks. I've had a game where I had 3 chase down blocks in park with a 30 block, no block rating at all on my 6'4" play shot. You know, just having this badge on bronze. So just having this badge alone is enough to unlock chase down animations and have you getting blocks like crazy or whatever like that. So, you know, you can go higher if you want, but I don't think you really need anything higher than bronze, in my opinion. For clamps, I would go say that, you know, if you're, you know, trying to budget, silver for sure. And then if you can get it Hall of Fame, I would go Hall of Fame. But, you know, again, if you can't and you can only go gold, I would just budget it with silver. I run silver clamps on all of my builds. The only time I run like a bronze clamps is if I'm on like a big man build and I just want to be able to hold my own if I'm on a switch out on the perimeter. I don't want to get cooked by a point guard or whatever like that. I make sure all of my bigs have at least bronze clamps just in case if I get on the switch and stuff like that in the pick and roll. But other than that, all of my guards and wing builds all have silver clamps. If I could get Hall of Fame clamps on any of those builds, I probably would be running Hall of Fame clamps. But since I can't, I can only get gold clamps. I just rock with silver clamps. Defensive leader. Defensive leader is one of those badges that I feel like you can rock it, but if you're playing with good teammates, you probably don't need to rock it. But I would say the optimal levels are either bronze or Hall of Fame. You know, you either want to go just throw one on, or you just want to go full send and give your team as much of an advantage as possible. If you could have somebody rocking this, if you play Pro-Am, you know, or stage or whatever like that, you know, it would be very, very helpful, especially to your guards and stuff like that. But, you know, in most cases, people get by without this badge, so you don't really need to worry about it. But if you have like 30 defensive badges like I have on this build, then yeah, I would be running defensive leader on something to help my team out. You know what I'm saying? Next badge is Hustler. Again, another one of those badges that I would tell you to just max out. Doesn't matter if you max it out at Gold or Hall of Fame, just max Hustler out. Same thing with Interceptor, another one of those badges you want to max out, whether it's Gold or Hall of Fame, just max it out. And also the same thing for Intimidator. Whatever you can max out at, if you max out at Gold, max it out at Gold. If you can max it out at Hall of Fame, I would recommend you max it out at Hall of Fame. And now we are going to go to our only badge that is NA, which is, you know, not available or, you know, not recommended. I don't recommend you use this badge at all. You know, I have a video on my channel talking about what 2K can do to change Menace to make Menace a better badge. I might link it or, you know, pin a comment or whatever to the video about the Menace badge. But I think 2K needs to tweak the Menace badge or change it, patch it, whatever you want to call it. But something needs to be done to the Menace badge. It's just not a good badge. All it does is drop the attributes when you are playing good defense. And what they mean by good defense is you have to be physically holding L2 and bumping and touching the player. And the badge only triggers on the perimeter, meaning that if they go into the paint, Menace no longer works. You're not going to be activating Menace if they're in the paint. You're not going to be activating Menace if they're posting you up in the paint against a big man or something like that, or a guard. So it's very situational. It's not very situational. It's extremely situational in the sense that you have to be physically touching and bumping them. That's one. And then two, you can only do it on the perimeter. It doesn't work in the paint. So it's like, you know, it's just very, 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 very situational. I went into depth about how they should change Menace and stuff like that. So I will link the video, or, you know, pin a comment with a link to the video if you guys are interested in seeing that video about the Menace badge and what they can do to make it better. But me personally, I just don't think that it's worth it. And then on top of that, it only drops their attribute by one point each level. So, you know, if they have a 90 ball handle, bronze drop it to 89. You know, silver would drop it to 88, gold would drop it to an 87, and then Hall of Fame would drop it to an 86. And it's like, think about it. You know, most play shots are going to have like a 90 ball handle, so he's still going to have above an 85 ball handle. You know, this badge is really, really useful if you're, you know, playing up against centers and big men and stuff like that or whatever. But you also have to ask yourself, when are the center and the big man going to be on the perimeter dribbling the ball? You know, so it just becomes very situational. Maybe if you're with a slasher who has a low ball handle, it might help you a little bit. But for the most part, I just feel like this badge is so situational that there's just no point in running this badge. So I would just recommend you don't run this badge. Off-ball pest, I would say the optimal badge level for this is bronze. You don't really need it any higher. Bronze works pretty well at getting the grabbing, you know, putting your hand on them, you know, staying in front of them when they try to cut and move and stuff like that. I like to run this badge, especially on my bigs, because a lot of the time the center likes to run over and set a screen on my point guard. And if I have off-ball pests, sometimes I'll grab their shirt, grab their jersey, I'll bump them, I'll put a hand on their chest, triggering off-ball pests and stuff like that. And it kind of just, not only does it let my guard know, like, hey, look, the screen is coming because he's coming over to you, but it kind of grabs them and delays them from running to set the screen, giving my guard some time to, either, get me in position to hedge the screen or play sides, or he has enough time to kind of get over the screen because he sees the guy is coming or whatever, and I'm grabbing him, bumping him and stuff like that, and then he sees the screen is coming over or whatever. That 1 to 2 second bump is enough to take time off the shot clock and to take time away from them setting the screen on your guard and stuff like that. So that's why I like to run off-ball pass, especially on my big man builds. Pick dodger, I would say silver or Hall of Fame. You can run it on bronze just to trigger the animations, but I feel like I've ran this badge on all levels, and I noticed that I got the most animations as far as like low levels on silver. Silver was like the sweet spot for getting the animations, the spins and stuff like that, as well as Hall of Fame. So, I guess if you can go up to Hall of Fame for sure, if you have the points and the ability to go up to Hall of Fame. But if not, silver is definitely very, very nice. It's what I run on my two-way shark, and it gets the job done. Same thing for Pickpocket. Silver or Hall of Fame definitely gets the job done. I haven't had any problems with silver Pickpocket, and I also have a 94 steal. You know what I'm saying? So you also have to take in consideration your attribute ratings when you pick your badge levels and stuff like that. If you have a very high steal, 90 plus, 92 plus steal or whatever, 93, 94, when you get into that territory, you're not going to really even need Pickpocket like that if you are timing your steal properly and stuff like that. But it is going to reduce your chance of getting a reaching foul, And for somebody like me who plays mostly in the rec and pro and 5v5, can't be getting in foul trouble. So this badge is very important to me as far as like the not getting called for reaching fouls, more so than just getting the steals, Pogo stick. Now, optimally, I would recommend you don't run this badge. And the only reason why I say I would optimally, tell you not to run this badge is because this to me is a crutch badge. This badge, it promotes a bad habit or bad tendencies for people to just jump and constantly jump in the paint. You should be trying to time when to jump. You should be trying to time when you go for a block or whatever like that. Now, the only reason why I say, you should and not, 100% don't use this badge is because we've all played against that dude who pump fake 90 times in the paint and they never call 3 seconds on him. He's just in the paint pump faking, and he's not getting called for 3 seconds. And you're just standing there and you're jumping and you're not jumping, you're jumping, you're not jumping. And then they give him a dunk or a bullshit layup animation and he still scores on you, They don't call 3 seconds on him. They don't call a travel on him. You don't get a block or nothing like that. So I understand why people have to jump. We've all played hands up defense. We all played right stick up, putting your hands up defense and stuff like that, and they still score on you. So you pretty much have no choice but to jump in this game. But you also have to time your jump. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I would tell you to max this out because you want to be able to jump constantly to defend. But at the same time, I would say that, jumping constantly is bad defense at the same time. So it really just comes down to your play style and, whether you care that you're a jumper. Me personally, I run this maxed out on gold or Hall of Fame. I don't really care because I just want to get the stop. I don't really care what people think if I'm a jumper or not. But I know some people do care. So, if you want to promote good tendencies, you would just take pogo stick off and learn to time your jump. And that gives you like 3 to 4 points to put elsewhere on your badges. That's just the only pro side effect to not running this badge, And the only con is that you're now down 3 to 4 badge points. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, you could run this badge or max it out, but that's just my opinion on this. The optimal badge level for post lockdown, I would say, is silver. I noticed that is the sweet spot for me. Obviously, you can go up to Hall of Fame if you feel like you're getting matched up against a lot of post scores and stuff like that. But the real reason why I say silver is the sweet spot for me is because, one, I have a big man, who has high strength. I have like a 85 strength at 95 overall, and then I believe at 99 I have an 89 strength. Um, and then on top of that, I'm like 240. I have like decent weight on my center. I have high strength because I picked a strength pie chart and stuff like that. And then I also have badges like brick wall and stuff like that. So silver post lockdown is good enough to where I'm not gonna get bodied. People aren't gonna just I have brick wall, I have silver post lockdown, I have high strength and stuff like that. I have a little bit of weight on me and stuff as well too. People aren't just gonna throw me around in the paint. They aren't gonna just back me down. They aren't gonna just drop step me like a baby. You know what I'm saying? Because I have all of these attributes and things or whatever. So that's why I feel like I don't really need a super high post lockdown, to combat those guys. Now, if you feel like you're constantly going up against 7-3 centers and post scores and stuff like that, or you're playing on the ones court and you're just playing post scores all day, then yeah, you probably can go up to Hall of Fame and stuff like that. But me personally, I feel like silver is more than enough. Also, you have to factor in that most bigs that play this game, they don't know how to play in the post. They don't know what an up and under is. They aren't really hook shotting you and stuff like that. They're literally just spamming drop steps and just spamming pump fakes and stuff until they get a layup animation or whatever. So with that being said, there's really not that many good post players who know how to play in the post. You know, now part of that is because the post game is kind of trash this year, but also because most bigs just paint match. That's just it's the name of the game, how people play this game. So it's like you're not gonna find many really good people who know how to play in the post anyway. So you're not gonna really get much use out of this badge anyway. But just for the off chance my dude is 6'11", just on the off chance I do get matched up against that 7'2", 7'3" center, post score or whatever, I'll at least have a chance at locking him down when he's trying to drop step me and doing all these moves. So I like to have post lockdown on silver. Rebound chaser, another one of those badges that you kind of want to just max out. You know, ultimately, if you are any position that's not the big man, power forward, or a center, you're talking about a point guard, a wing, or something like that, bronze works pretty well. But if you are a big man, power forward, or center, you're running the 4 or the 5 in rec, or you're running the 3 in park, you want to max this out, whatever you can max it out to. Hall of Fame or gold, just max it out, period, point blank. Rim protector, same situation. I like to run this on bronze on my two-way sharp. If you aren't going to be in the paint, you don't really need this anything higher than bronze. You are the shooting guard, point guard, small forward. You can get away with running this on just bronze alone. That's going to get enough to unlock the snatch blocks animations. It's going to help you with getting blocks in general. You don't really need this any higher, but if you are a power forward or a center, a big man build, you're running the 3 in park, you're going to want to max this out to give you your best chance of getting blocks and getting stops down low in the paint. Tyler's Defender, one of those utility badges that's actually pretty decent, especially in this game where stamina matters. Is going to affect how well you play defense and how well you can shoot based on your stamina. So Tyler's Defender, definitely a badge that I would recommend that you throw on at least bronze. I mean, I've tried running it on silver and gold, and I just didn't really notice a difference. Maybe I'm just used to playing a certain way or something, or I just don't use a lot of energy. I know when to let go of turbo. I know when to use turbo, when to sprint, when not to sprint, and stuff like that. I don't even know how many games I have played in rec and pro am, but I would say I'm probably well over 1,500 games of rec and pro am. So I have a pretty good idea as far as turbo and stamina usage and stuff like that. And then last but not least, worm. If you had to use this badge, I would recommend you just throw this on gold and forget about it. But me personally, I do not run this badge. I feel like box is such a good badge. That 9 times out of 10, I'm not slipping them. I know how to use worm. I know how to press up on a directional thing or whatever like that to slip or swim around them and stuff like that. But I just feel like box is such a good badge this year that like you're not gonna get many of those swim or worm spin around animations anyway, unless you have the glass cleaner badge. Now, when you have that glass cleaner badge, yo, you're gonna be activating worm like every single time. But without the glass cleaner badge, it's like very rare if they got you boxed out and they got high strength and stuff like that that you're gonna get around them. You know, so those are the optimal badge levels for all the defensive and rebounding badges in NBA 2K22. If any of this content or video helped you with, your badge layout and choosing badges and stuff like that, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K22 content. It's been your boy Make America Lit. I'm out. Peace, guys.